and welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. You know, I'm so lucky to have the job that I'm in because so many people come through here and teach me things that I just never ever know. And most of them that come through here are way smarter than me. With me is Dr. Santana. Jeff's, I get it right?
You did, yeah.
Vivify Solutions.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go from the beginning. What is Vivify Solutions?
Vivify Solutions is a consulting service where I am looking to help individual professionals and companies with leadership, strategy, and operational development, and to help them take what they already know and move it to the next level so they can be successful. So essentially work myself out of a job.
But what's interesting about the whole scenario, in my opinion, is I've been around a lot of coaches and stuff, and what's interesting about you is that sometimes you have to learn in the real world.
Yep.
And you learn through corporate world.
Yes.
And my opinion has always been, you got to be a little crazy to be an entrepreneur, but you got to be crazier to stay in the corporate world. Okay? So that was your learning lesson, I guess.
Yes.
And we were talking in the green room, and how you started here, and you worked your way up to here through the corporate world. And I'm sure it made you a little crazy.
A little crazy, yeah.
But it got to a point where it's like, you know what? I got to give back and help others.
Yeah.
And that's how that came about. Okay. So who's your clientele? I mean, like, who do you, I mean, you said business people. What, any specific business?
Yeah, so it really is across all industries. So
Okay.
my background is in healthcare. And I went into healthcare because I get to help everybody, and everybody deserves care. But really, I can help across all industries because it's leadership and strategy and operations. But I really want to be able to just go in, and I want to help people that want to be helped. And if I help one person and they can help thousands, then that counts as helping thousands of people.
Right.
And so really it's any industry. We can focus, if it's project management, it can be focused inside of healthcare, but I can do anything in healthcare. I could go in and help in automotives. I've helped with ambulance companies. And so it's really just taking it and applying strategy and development to anything.
Why? Why did you get into this?
I got into this because I've had the opportunity to help thousands of people being in healthcare and working for an amazing healthcare system. But what I want to do is I want to help people my own way and with my own name behind me. My PhD, I got it in access to care for women. And ultimately, I want to be able to build clinics all over the world and help people that don't have health care. And so this company will allow me to be able to give back currently and help people, maybe do it a little bit more affordable than most consulting services. But then eventually it'll help me be able to have the funds to be able to build those clinics for communities in the U.S. and countries all over the world.
Okay, so you're young, and you have a life ahead of you.
Yes.
But life sometimes gets in the way, okay? And in your relationships now, do you have support? Because that's a big thing. A lot of times family, relationships, spouses, partners, say, like for me, when I came into this industry, which I started, so we were pioneers in Zoom and Skype, but none of this stuff was around when we started. What I got was, don't be stupid, get a real job, it's a pipe dream.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that support. My mom, who I love dearly, never saw any of my shows. Okay? Do you get support from the people around you?
I do. You know, I have an amazing support system. My fiance is absolutely wonderful and cheering me on. He was the person that texted me before I came in here today. I have two amazing teenagers that I've, you know, had the opportunity to love and raise, my two children. And my family and friends, they really believe in me. And they've always told me that the sky's the limit. So I do have people surrounded around me that believe in me and know that I can do this. But more importantly, it comes down to I know I can do this and I know I can help people.
Okay, so I just got smacked in the face. You have two teenage kids?
I do. I have a 17-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Like when you were 2?
More like 16, 17, but yeah, like 2.
Oh my God, you're a kid. Well, I'm just older than dirt. So you can't go by me. You can't go by me. So, and I want to add this in there because raising children gives you life lessons
Oh, I've had some life lessons.
to add to what you already do in business.
Yeah.
Okay? So I guess your children are supportive?
Oh yeah, my children they're my rocks. They're why I've been in corporate America for 12 years. They're why I wanted to finish school and get my PhD. I wanted to show them that, you stick to what you do and anything's possible. So having my children so young, I grew up with them as well. And so we're very close. And, it's no matter what, it's always been the three of us.
And I don't know if I should mention it, but I will. We were talking in the green room. You went through your share in your earlier life.
Yeah.
Okay? And I guess going through the things that you went through, place to place to place to place, I guess it puts in your mind, how do I keep everything together as one cohesive unit?
Yeah.
And make it work?
Yeah.
And from talking to you, obviously you use that in your business strategy.
Yeah.
How do I keep this person cohesive with what they're trying to do and make it work?
Yeah.
Who is easier to work with, men or women?
Honestly, I would probably say it's a mix of both. It depends on what perspective you're coming from. So
Okay.
from a perspective of being in the project, men typically are easier to work with. However, to get the project, it's usually women because they will rally together. So it depends on how you're looking at it.
The scenario is you can put 100 women in a room in the same industry and they will outwardly empower each other.
Correct.
You put 2 men in a room and it's a fight.
Correct.
Okay?
But
So-
you put 2 men in a room and you put me in the room, and I think I would still come out on top. So
But I mean, the scenario becomes that I get it because getting a project is easier for you to get the project from women
right,
because they empower one another
right,
and they believe in one another.
right.
Getting it from men because we're stupid is, it's a woman. What does she know?
And that's the hardest part.
Especially in corporate world.
It's really hard when the door shuts or someone doesn't want to listen simply because you're a woman or they haven't taken the time to hear. Where women do, they tend to rally around each other. And so it is a different world when you're trying to work with people, and sometimes, you have to fight a little harder, but it makes it worth it in the end.
So, I know for me, because we were talking about we're both givers and helpers.
Yeah.
So, what's the feeling like when you work with someone and you work yourself out of a job
Yeah.
to the end? What's the feeling like when you get to the end?
It is a feeling of liberation and being so proud. To see the light bulb go off with somebody and to see that they believe that they are going to be successful, which means it is possible. It's a feeling that I yearn for. I enjoy helping people to get to that moment where they're like, I can do this and I don't need you anymore.
And I look at, when I go through a path like that and I help someone, it's almost like my kid graduated.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah. And it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because you're sad to see them go.
Yeah.
Okay? But you're so proud of where they went.
Yep.
Okay? Are industries that you work within for people some harder than others?
Yeah. Some of them are. You have some where it's anyone is willing to ask for help and they want that help, and those are the fun ones. But then there's also challenges where you can see someone needs help and maybe they're just not there yet. And some of those industries typically can be led by men. And so
you can say it. Yeah, I get it.
It's hard because they don't really want to sit down and be told that they're doing something wrong or they're not doing it perfectly, where really you're not coming in to tell them they're doing it wrong. You really want to boost them up and show them how they can do more with little need or additional money or anything. It's just looking at it a little bit differently and using the resources they have.
Okay, so when I said that and I looked at you, right through my mind went auto mechanics.
Yep.
What does this woman know about changing a tire or whatever?
Right.
Okay, but it's really more than just changing a tire. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that we look through life sometimes in a small window, and we don't see. Okay, so the difference between men and women, in my opinion, is men go into a store and need to buy a shirt.
Right.
So they go, they take the shirt, they pick it up, and go to the register. Women go to the blouses, and it's like this.
Yep.
And they're going to buy what's right and correct.
Right.
We just want a shirt and get the heck out of there.
Right.
Okay? So that's kind of the difference. Men see the world like this. We have blinders on, and we want to go over there, but we don't see that there's two guys here with guns and two guys here with guns.
Right.
Women see things more peripheral. But as positive as that is, it has its negative too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if you overthink something, it's no good either.
Right.
Right? Because I'm very spontaneous. But I'm a guy. I made a ton of mistakes. So it's okay. But I'm older than dirt. So again, I've earned this. Like you earned your doctor name, I've earned this old age today.
Right.
So do you think that younger people are more apt to want to work with you than older people?
Honestly, I don't think age matters.
Okay.
You know, I think each generation has its sticking points.
Right.
So for my generation, you know, we tend to think we know it all and we don't need help. Older generations, sometimes they don't want to, or a more mature generation, they don't necessarily want a younger person to help. But I really don't think it comes down to that. I think, you know, back to the automotive point, right? You know, what do I know about a tire? The difference is I don't need to know anything about a tire because I'm not building the tires and I'm not selling the tires. I need to understand them as a consumer so that way I can look at that perspective for you, but I'm coming in to help with the things behind it. You know, I'm coming in to say, are you pulling your supplies correctly? Do you have the correct par levels? I don't need to know what the supplies is. I need to know if it needs to be on an auto shipment or if it needs to be ad hoc because you're doing customized work. And so that's where it comes in to sit down. They still need to be the specialists. They still need to be the SME in the work. I'm coming in to help them kind of round it up and make a whole package.
And it's interesting because I guess it really doesn't make a difference what the product is.
Right.
Okay? It makes a difference of, look, if you knew everything about the tire,
Right.
you might as well open your own tire store.
Right.
Okay? You can't know everything.
Right.
You can't be a brain surgeon and a proctologist.
Right.
It just doesn't work.
Correct.
Okay? My thought was that a lot of older people don't have the respect for younger people that they should, because when we had to learn something,
Right.
we had to learn it over a period of 2 months. Today, when you learn something, you can learn it over a week.
Right.
Okay? Technology, which is a blessing and a curse, it affords you the ability to look something up and figure it out almost immediately.
Right.
Okay? Even though young people can't figure out how to write cursive. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. Or drive a 5-speed. But it's interesting because just the ability to know something almost instantaneously, and younger people are better at that than older people. You know, I'm blessed. I have Edgar and Angel, and they do the editing, and yet I could never do the job they do. And I was at a breakfast this morning, and they did a job for somebody who's a friend of mine now. And if I tell you, he couldn't stop praising them and showing the video that they did to everybody in the chamber. So I did what they did, but surely not on a level that they can do it. So I'm blessed to have them, and they're blessed to have the technology that they have.
Right.
Is your business based around technology also?
No. So it has technology in it because you stay up to date with things. But the main, what makes this company different than other consulting companies is just how you talked about younger people having technology and being able to learn quicker. This company, the goal is to be able to come in and learn from my clients as well. So it is not to come in and bulldoze in there, not that consulting companies do that, but to come in and say, this is the way to do it. I want to come in and learn. I want to understand based on their culture and the environment in which they're working, and then help them find a solution that fits their employees, that fits their clientele. And so that takes time of me coming in and investing my time and learning from them as well, because yes, we young people can learn things very quickly, but sometimes it doesn't stick. And
Right.
so the beauty of someone that's been doing it for years and years is they can teach you tricks of the trade that you can't find online and that you can't learn. And so I want to go in and be able to learn with them in order to make sure that I can help them create the best product, because I will not be creating the best product. I'm helping them create their own product.
Okay, we're getting to the top of our time. How do people reach you? You have a website?
I do. So I can be reached at vivify-solutions.com.
Okay.
And that is the easiest way. You can go on and you can reach out and do a contact information on there. Or I can also be reached directly at the company phone number, which is 574-520-2458.
Now, on your website, you have different pieces within your website.
Yes.
One is called Narrative something.
So I have a blog, and it's called Discovering Life's Narrative.
Okay.
And it goes a little bit deeper, and it's looking at objective opinion, where we all go through life trials and we all go through different things. And while it may be small to some, it's much larger to others. And it's just showing that we get to write our story. We get one life, and we should live it gloriously. And we should determine how that folds. Some things happen to us unexpectedly, but that doesn't mean that we can't learn from it and then change what the outcome is.
And in your case, in mine, and help others.
And help others. That is always the true purpose for me in life. That is what I was put here for, is to help as many people as possible.
Doc, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Everybody, check out Santana Jeff's at Vivify Solutions. Also,
VivifySolutions.com.
a hyphen there, right?
Yep, there's a hyphen to separate the two words.
Everybody, check them out. And always, always, always use a professional. You will save yourself you'll spend 5 times more money if you don't, and 10 times more aggravation if you don't. We'll be
Agree.
right back.